You're watching ABC4 News, celebrating 75 years.
The U.S. about to hit its debt ceiling, which is likely to set off a financial fight in Congress. Lawmakers are making threats about how to raise the debt limit, causing economic concern. Hannah Brandt in Washington with the details.
The financial future of the United States hangs in the balance as lawmakers start discussions about raising the debt limit.
It should be done without conditions, and it should not be used as a political football.
The United States is set to hit the debt limit on Thursday, but the Treasury Department will take what they call extraordinary measures to prevent an immediate crisis, which should give Congress until summer to figure out a plan to raise the debt ceiling or risk defaulting.
So it's not like the world is going to come to an end tomorrow or even next week, but the closer and closer we get to June, the more likely we are going to run into problems.
Many Republicans are saying they won't vote to raise the debt ceiling unless Congress also agrees to spending cuts. And House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he's ready to start negotiating.
Find the common sense compromise that puts us back onto a balanced budget.
Economics professor Joseph Cordes agrees that the national debt should be stabilized, but warns plans to cut government spending can have consequences.
Those would obviously be painful as well, because no matter what scheme you're talking about, they involve not paying certain obligations that we have.
As lawmakers try to hammer out a solution that avoids defaulting, Cordes says he's reasonably optimistic
that we will come up with a solution that does not involve default on the debt. But we're going to have a lot of nervous moments getting there.
In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
Meantime, back at home, a world-famous actress stopping by Utah's legislative session to champion a cause close to her heart. Katherine Heigl teaming up with State Senator Mike McHale to introduce a bill that would do away with one method animal shelters use to put down animals, sending them into euthanasia gas chambers.
It wasn't begun to torture animals, but it has become that in that we have other means and other ways that are safe, cost-effective, and humane.
Now, according to the Utah Animal Rights Coalition, the last facility in the state using gas chambers is the Utah Valley Animal Shelter in Spanish Fork. This marks the 10th legislative session in a row now where lawmakers have tried for this ban. In northern Utah, a litter of puppies now safe and recovering thanks to a Good Samaritan. A man driving near Plymouth reportedly finding this group of 9 pups abandoned on a deserted road. He says 2 of them were frozen to the ground and had to dig out others from a snowbank. But this family of dogs now heading to Tiny Paws Rescue tomorrow. And we hear they are all doing well, with 5 of the little guys safely in the care of foster parents in a matter of hours. The Animal Rescue now on the search for 2 more fosters.
Time now for Utah's most accurate forecast with Alana Brophy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
So glad those little pups are okay. Not the time to be leaving them in the elements.
No, and I was like, Glenn, they're looking for fosters. Maybe you and I should.
You need to maybe pick up a few more.
I would definitely. They are that cute. I definitely would. But yes, very, very cold temperatures with colder air now in place. You don't want to leave the pets or anything out in the elements because it is going to be chilly for the next 7 days. We take that live look from Oakley, backside of the Wasatch. Love to see that fresh snow, but the clouds moving through. It's a mix of sun and clouds for today with high pressure in control. Also seeing plenty of snow up there in the high country. Sugarloaf up at Alta with the sun going down. It's just so, it looks like a postcard, right? They've picked up such a tremendous amount thus far this season, and we want to keep that going. As we look at the last 10 years, the numbers we've received so far this year beat out several seasons. That includes in 2014, 2017. Goodness, we're only 15 inches away from total snow from last year. We want to keep this going. We'd love to get to average. Average at Alta's 563, and this is just very healthy for snowpack. When we talk water, in the valley, you think of the water year, it starts October 1st, and these are the Salt Lake numbers above average. November, December, and January, great trend there. We've picked up more than 7 inches. Average for the year's 15.5, just right around there. So if we continue with this trend for the next couple of months, we should be in good shape and hoping that the active pattern holds steady. Today is a breather with the sun on the fresh snow in Iron County. You can see the cloud cover over the Iron County mountains. This is one of the spots that will actually be hit by our next storm system. The high pressure that's kept us quiet will break down and we get increasing clouds heading into tonight and through the day tomorrow. Okay, we're chilly out there, but the high pressure did warm us up in places like Salt Lake, Price, down there in St. George. It doesn't last though. We drop and overall we're below average with temperatures sitting in the 20s and 30s along the Wasatch Front, 20s over in Moab with that fresh snow on the ground, freezing in Cedar City, and only the upper 40s in St. George. That's going to get even colder with the movement of our next system. We break down this high. So long. See you later. 4:45 in the morning. There's that next storm. It's knocking. The cold front wants to come through, but this area of low pressure digs further south through western Utah. Counterclockwise flow here, which brings in moisture to the western side of the state, but also puts a bullseye on central and southern Utah when it comes to snowfall. We could see a few showers here by 4 o'clock in and around the southern end of the Salt Lake Valley, but Utah County has a better chance. And then further south you go, you're going to get more precip. Those scattered showers want to hold on as we head into Friday. With the cold and lingering showers, we are looking at the potential for even mixing in some snow in Washington County early Friday morning. I know. It's happened. New Harmony already has seen snow, but we could even see St. George deal with just a little bit of a flurry or two on the palm trees. Trace to an inch in Washington County from this system. Valleys could get a trace to 3. This does include towards Cedar City. They're used to that. 2 to 5 in our mountain valleys and another half a foot to a foot in places like the Pine Valley Mountains, Bryan Head, heads up there. 30s for tomorrow, 35 in Moab, 30s for the I-15 corridor, and 42 in St. George. Okay, a quieter pattern, not as active. And as we look at the next 7, in St. George, you're going to get a pretty good idea here. There they are, popping up of those colder temperatures. That system impacting us Thursday into Friday. Drier Saturday through the Wednesday. Not bad at all. The winds do pick up on Monday. Now, we have the chance in the north of seeing another little quick hitter on Sunday. We're keeping our eye on that with cold air in place. That would be straight snow. And hey, we'll take all we can get. An extra helping, please. Central and southern Utah going to get that with our system tomorrow. Glenn?
Dana was just saying there's too much snow.
Dana, I was going to say, if you're a skier, I don't want to hear that.
Snowbird was crazy yesterday. It was like belly deep, which isn't that high for me, but it was crazy
so like
so
this?
much. Yeah, right. Ha, ha, ha.
Fresh pow, fresh pow.
It
You're
was fun.
shredding it.
It was a blast.
Yes.
It was a
All right, a
blast.
key player coming back.